Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show. It's the hot new All About You show that every single week brings you entrepreneurs, business experts sharing their stories, their powerful takeaways, while providing you with the tips, tools, tactics, and a free weekly gift to help you thrive. Your hosts for the Imagine More Success radio show are the best-selling authors, Cindy Hendricks, a certified business consultant, and Thomas Hides, a certified world-class public speaking coach. Check out the Imagine More Success radio show at imaginemoresuccess.net, because now's the time for you to realize your dreams and for you to imagine more success. Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. Today we've got a really very timely episode, actually. We're talking about a topic which affects more and more Americans every single year. We're going to be talking about healthcare, specifically healthcare for people as they reach about the age 65, and when you really need help finding someone to give you some assistance. Cindy, I know that you've had a lot of experience with this. Tell me some of the issues that arise for individuals who need to find home health care.
Hello, Thomas. I can share with you that I don't believe anybody can be prepared for needing support with a loved one who is in need of support, whether it's dementia, Alzheimer's, disability, or a fall, and you just need somebody to help you through that time in your life when you know nothing about what you really need, and people are just not prepared for this, I don't believe. And so I had to do a lot of research in my life because, as you know, my husband has had Alzheimer's for over a decade.
Yeah, and Cindy's actually written a really amazing book called Me, Harvey, and Al's, which not only details and chronicles her story about her experience with helping her husband through Alzheimer's, but also it actually gives a lot of tremendous information on how you can get ahead of the game, and it's really like a quick start guide, especially if you've recently found out that your loved one has Alzheimer's, or if you've been struggling with keeping everything organized and finding the right nutraceuticals to help them.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody needs to get a paper and a pen, because our guest today is someone who I wish I would have known at the beginning of my journey with my husband and caring for him, because it would have made a big difference. So get your pen and paper and take some notes today.
And that's why we're really happy to bring on Anna Jones, who is the founder and owner of Flex 65 by MacMa Group, which is actually a technology app that gives families and caregivers the ability to connect to one another, so that a family who is really in need of finding a caregiver for their family can do it quickly and easily. So we want to go ahead and welcome Anna to the show. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Thomas and Cindy. It's a great pleasure to be on this show.
Well, I think it's so cool, the name of your company. So do you want to explain how you came up with that?
Yes, Plex 65 is spelled with a PH, so PHLEX 65, because a lot of the help that people receive in the home, formal help as we call it, or paid help, a lot of the agencies, organizations require a minimum set of hours, 4 hours, 2 weeks, whereas a lot of my caregivers come in and start off with at least 1 or 2 hours. And families can take them on, or they can keep them just for a certain duration.
And the 65?
65 for older adults, talking about that Social Security age, and when we're looking at older adults.
Coming of age to the golden years, right?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, we're just thrilled to have you here because we can never know enough about where we can find good support that has been vetted so that we can help get our loved ones what it is that they need.
Yes. And it's very important that we do get, the help that we need in a timely fashion, not
Yes.
as an emergency or as the last step, which
Exactly.
the majority of people do.
Anna, take a moment then and tell us a little bit about what a common scenario looks like where your app could really help someone out.
So, for instance, with Cindy and having to deal with someone round the clock, or having someone to take care of someone who has Alzheimer's or dementia, this is a almost thankless job where you're inundated with tasks and the burdens and the stress. You just need to step aside to go and do your own doctor's appointments. You need to run errands. You look on your phone and you look in the area and you find a caregiver and you request that caregiver to come in and within an hour, 2 hours, tomorrow or the next day. And you take that time out to run out and do your errands, or you take that weekend off or the week off. That's how the app works.
Well, that would have been helpful in the beginning for me, for sure, because you never know if people are properly vetted when you're looking for some help. And do you want to talk a little bit about the vetting process you have for the people that you have?
The same vetting process that the Department of Social Services in the state of California has right now, with the requirements for security and also training. I always emphasize the security part of this and seeing that they are signed up as a home care aid registry with the home care aid registry. And also the training is an important part of this, not only for experience. You can be experienced, but you're trained in the wrong way or a different way. I want to be able to know that there's a certain, motions, different things that they have for transfers or dealing with someone with dementia,
Mm-hmm.
or dealing with the diversity
Mm-hmm.
of the population that we serve.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so interesting that you chose this business. And one of our new things that we're going to be doing, Thomas and I, on our show is talking about how business owners that we bring on as guests got started in their business. So that should be a pretty interesting story from you.
Yes, it is. Very interesting. Found myself at a time when became single and had some time on my hand because the boys were off to college, and figured it was my time to complete a graduate degree. My field has always been gerontology and geriatric care. Done that for over 2 decades now. My third attempt at trying to get a master's at gerontology, and finally did.
Good for you. That's not an easy process.
And having the social policy professor explain to us, if there was something that you needed to solve or something that you needed to help with the elderly in the community, what is it that you would do? I live in San Jose. This is the capital of computer world. And couldn't find anything that was service-wise would put me in touch with the elderly, their families, or caregivers.
Wow.
Yes. And I decided that I would take that step and try to come up with, originally it was an idea to, just find people online and help them, just like every other agency does, with response.
Sure.
Yeah. And then in speaking and vetting engineers, teams from around the world, had a good friend that did that for me, and ended up with 3 different teams. One was in Croatia, one was in Canada, and one was in Florida. So Croatia we settled on, and then we got to find out that there was a language barrier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
So
beyond the accent,
Yes.
right?
Is this your team that you were building the app with? Is that?
Yes, yeah, this is the first team I settled on, and did it through Upworks. Upworks is a good place to start with.
Yes.
And found that team, and after the 3rd meeting, figured out it wasn't going to work. So
Probably saved you a lot of money in the long run.
it did, because we were going through a third party with this too, and on top of just going through Upworks too. And,
Oh my.
yes. And finally went with Florida. And of course, Florida was the headquarters, but housed engineers, contractors to India.
Ah.
Yes. And have been so pleased with them, and have worked with them for the last 2.5 years.
It took a while to get that app, didn't it?
It did. Because it is tailored to do the same assessments, and it, as a platform, is unique in it has both the caregivers and the families that use the same app to complete 2 different things.
To find each other.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, that has got to be a godsend for families that are so in need, and especially when things come up at the last minute. And who are you going to call? Right?
Yes.
Anna, when you first started with this app, did you find that it had almost immediate response when you first launched it?
The response was of awe, because a lot of professionals, I took this around to different professionals in the medical setting, and they were excited about it. But then the families were a little hesitant, because we're dealing with banking information, we're dealing with everything that's upfront,
Gotcha.
and having to deal with HIPAA information too. So I had to have the added security for that. There has to be a different protocol for that when dealing with this, with the electronic protect health information.
Okay, so that was a procedure that you had to
Yeah.
kind of create. Well, we're gonna come back in just a couple of minutes. When we come back, we're going to hear more from Anna Jones, who is the founder of Flex65, this amazing app that helps to connect families with caregivers. So please stay tuned to the Imagine More Success radio show. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Patty Conklin grew up in Brooktondale, New York with a unique ability. Unlike others, she could see how the vibration of words and emotions affected the physical body. She discovered how to release stored emotion and facilitate healing. This began today's Conklin method of cellular cleansing. The private practice grew with tremendous results, as did her reputation. More and more people sought her out, bringing her into the home for healing. She soon realized she could even teach this to others, and they could shift perception and thus prevent illness from occurring. Patty Conklin quickly became a frequent keynote speaker, and she developed a curriculum for teaching the Conklin method of cellular cleansing. For more information, visit pattyconklin.com. PATTICONKLIN, pattyconklin.com, or call 404 404-0086. That's 404-474-0086.
Mission Evolution is dedicated to the well-being of the planet and animals, as well as the evolution of humankind. One major factor threatening all three is increasing toxicity. Heavy metals and other environmental toxins are poisoning our bodies, deteriorating our brains, blocking our spiritual connection, and shortening our lives. Yet these poisons are extremely difficult to remove. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, and I recently became aware of a product created from the marriage of nature and nanotechnology called Vitality. It's formulated from zoolite, whose crystalline structure binds toxins, gently carrying them out of the body. The light is only as clear as the window through which it shines. Clear your body, shine your light into the world. Visit vitalityhappens.com for a 20% discount. Enter code PATHHOME.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
You are back on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We've been talking with Anna Jones, who's the founder of Flex65, a technology app which gives families and caregivers the ability to connect and find one another very easily. She's very passionate about aging and the resources that are available to families and older adults in their later life. And Anna's been championing the work of nonprofits and using her expertise to sit on boards of committees to promote health, wellness, and research for aging and technology. And we're really excited to have you here today, Anna. Thank you for giving us the basis of how your business started. You were saying in the previous segment that the app ran into some initial resistance by some of the families who were starting to use it because there was so much information that had to be placed into the app in the very, very beginning. How did you find a solution to that?
I actually offered my services and telling them that if you are going to sign up or have a family member that you'd like to have use the app, I will be on hand. I will walk you through either on the phone or come in and meet with you and walk you through so that you can solicit or find the caregiver within the area.
Wow. I mean, that is truly amazing to give that kind of personalized service, and definitely, what a great way to build trust. I mean,
yes.
Immediate trust. You have someone there in person. That really kind of reminds me a lot of insurance advertisements. They talk about that. Some of the insurance companies use that as their marketing tools, and that seems to really work. So, for people that are listening, if you have an issue like that, sometimes that's what it takes, at least in the very beginning, until you build up a name and a reputation.
Yes. And I found that it's very personable that way, because you're still trying to network with different groups, with different populations, different areas. And this is the best way to reach out to them, either the professionals or the families.
Well, and I imagine if they trust you with their money, they'll certainly trust you with their loved one.
Yes, or trust that I am sending someone that I've vetted and spoken with and interviewed at length to go into the homes and to serve them and to do the jobs they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
I got to tell you something, that this is really cool. I actually had reason to have used your app many years ago. I'd had a hernia surgery, and I'd actually been a PCA before for over a year, and I had an issue though with my bandage, and I couldn't quite fix it myself. So I had to get a friend of mine who was a nurse to come and help me with it. But if this had been available then, I could have just as easily done that. If I had not known someone, I don't know what I would have done, because I couldn't get up to get to the doctor right there in the moment. So, I mean, it's really incredible to be able to have somebody come and help with something like that, and
at your fingertips.
Yeah, at your finger. This is really incredible.
Yes, like I said, I would have loved to have had it at the early stages when I had no clue what I was doing. Because, nobody in my family has dementia. We're all, old and have our full minds, and we just fall asleep and move on in our 80s and 90s. Easy in, easy out, right?
Yes. And I think accessibility is, the marketing thing here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about how soon can we get to services without having to go through the loopholes or through the paperwork in order to get the required service sometimes, and most times, which is in cases of emergency. People will not look for, the majority of people out there will not go out and find a caregiver for next month.
Yes, that's an excellent point, Anna. So when somebody gets the app, finds the person they want in the city they're in, how long does it take to get them in the house helping them?
Usually within the hour if the caregiver is available.
That is
within
unreal.
the hour. Oh my goodness. Anna, you are such a godsend.
That's amazing.
I'm hoping this catches, the traction it needs and the visibility it gets.
And that you don't get overly regulated.
Yes.
This is a lot of technologies are this way when they first come to market, because they are outside of normal trends, normal ways of doing things. They are met with resistance by institutions in general, which are typically slower to move and require, very specific ways of doing things and performing tasks. But, as this catches on, I have a feeling that, you'll be a trendsetter and you'll be able to move this forward even faster.
And it's important not only to be a trendsetter, but to have due diligence. I work in this field. I work with the elderly for the last 2 decades and know how important it is to have a safe environment and also a happy environment, and have certain things in place. No one told me about the EPHI. I actually did the research on that. That's the electronic protected health information. And that's an added, security on top of just the regular data security I have. And so, no one told me I had to vet all these caregivers. Caregivers usually on the national scene with referral agents just sign up, and no one's basically interviewing them in person. And I traveled all of Northern California to sit with every user or caregiver that I have on my database, which numbers over 300 at this point.
Wow, that's really pretty cool. That the vetting process takes place in person and by you personally. That's really incredible. There's not too many companies that could say that.
No. So how are you getting the word out so people can find you?
So right now, with just the marketing aspects of this, is just looking into digital marketing and the normal channels through social media, and also in person and workshops. And I just completed a summit of Who Cares for the Caregiver that aired all of January for 5 weeks straight, highlighting different messages from 21 different speakers that wanted to share their insights on how to become less stressed in the job as caregivers.
And thank you so much for inviting me to participate.
Yes, that was a bonus. Yes.
Thank you. Well, I love helping people, especially when it's something that, is out of our wheelhouse, because, most business owners can do many things, but when you're facing something outside your wheelhouse, you really need some help to figure it out quickly.
Plus, also when it happens, when you're kind of find yourself thrown into this particular type of event where you have a loved one you have to take care of, there's so many emotions wrapped up in it as well. It's very difficult to make sound decisions, even if you're used to being your own boss, running your own company. When the emotions are so high like that, especially with the shock sometimes of getting a diagnosis or having something really terrible happen to someone you care about, it's really difficult to think clearly, make decisions, and be able to keep everything running smoothly. Like it usually doesn't work that way. So to have some help and to be able to get away if you need a moment to clear your head, or if you need like an hour or two to be able to take care of the normal tasks that everyone has to take care of, I think it's just tremendous.
Well, and in the respite arena, before they will even consider giving you time off when you're in a palliative or a hospice situation, your loved one has to have a TB shot and test. And if they're not mobile, it's quite a job to get them to go get that. And then you don't have any idea where they're going to place your loved one so you can have a few days off. So by the time you've gone through all that, you might as well have not even done it.
Wow. You might as well have hired someone locally.
That's what I'm saying. This is a fantastic option to be able to get some time away and not have to go through all that.
Yes. Because as we see more people will be want to remain at home.
Yes.
That has always been the option, and having to come in and solve that problem, or to be able to help the families with this was the solution that I came up with.
Yes. And the thing today is all of these viruses everywhere, that you don't want to submit your loved one to another environment where you don't even know what kind of germs are there.
Think about that too.
Yeah, absolutely right. You just stay at home for the next 14 days, but who's going to be locked up in the house for 14 days with your loved one? Yeah.
Exactly.
And I see that you've done quite a bit of work. I mean, number one, I was trying to figure out how you do all the different things that you do. In addition to having your Flex 65 company, you've also been on the planning committee and worked the actual event for the Silicon Valley Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is, I know, something that's very important to Cindy as well. Does that really put you in a place to get a lot of one-on-one experience with people who are going through the same issues?
In a sense, yes and no. My own experience from my own professional life prior to launching the business was a director for a day program. Mm-hmm. And that day program saw all people from all walks of life with different diagnoses, and usually at the end of life. So I had a spectrum right across the board right there with different disabilities that I worked with. That is where my networking came from. I sit on the different boards for, currently I sit on the Aging 2.0 board for technology and aging, which is a worldwide group that brings together like-minded people like me who are trying to solve issues or who are trying to meet the demands for aging using technology. And I use this as a networking tool, as a way to reach out to different communities, as a way to reach out to professionals. Professionals will refer other professionals who they know.
Who they know and trust.
Yeah.
Well, we want, in just a minute, we're going to come back. We're going to hear more from Anna Jones about the Flex 65 app. Please stay tuned. If you want to hear some of our past episodes with other successful entrepreneurs and business owners, go to the ImagineMoreSuccess.net website and check out the past episodes there. And we look forward to sticking with you for just a few more minutes.
Audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
Join Patty Conklin and Healing Within Radio each week. More than entertainment, Healing Within offers educational, useful tools for everyday life. Listen for help overcoming fear, anxiety, and depression. Patty knows about eliminating cancer, MS, dementia, Parkinson's, and a host of illnesses that we face every day. Life can be good. Life is good. All you need are simple tools to start changing your life. Start right now by visiting pattyconklin.com, PATTICONKLIN. No matter where you are in the world, you can work with Patty through Skype, phone, or in person, visiting one of her retreats in Georgia. Visit pattyconklin.com today or call our offices at 404-474-0086. That's pattyconklin.com or call 404-474-0086.
Coming soon to the X Zone Broadcast Network is A Different Perspective with me, Kevin Randall, as your host. We'll be taking a close look at what is happening in the world of UFOs today with side trips into the paranormal. Guests will range from those who are household names to those who have a different perspective on a variety of topics. No topic will be taboo, but there will be tough questions asked as we all search for the truth about UFOs, the paranormal, and those things that excite us. Sometimes we'll agree with a guest and sometimes we won't, but we'll try to keep the program topical. For those of you who would like to read, be sure to visit www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com and remember to listen to the other fine programs on the X Zone Broadcast Network at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're so glad you could join us today. We've been having a really wonderful conversation with Anna Jones. She is the founder of Flex65.com, which is a technology app that connects families and caregivers so that you can get nearly immediate service. As you were saying earlier, Anna, you're saying sometimes you could have someone show up at your home after the app is set up in less than an hour. I was thinking that's, you may not be able to get a pizza in that amount of time to be able to have someone come and help you. With healthcare, that's really incredible. It's really mind-boggling.
The whole goal for this was to make it within 30 minutes and to find caregivers around your area that would travel to you, regardless of traffic, to get to you in 30 minutes, either during the side streets or if it's late afternoon or early morning traffic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right now, as you're talking about traffic, it makes me think of, can you tell me exactly where your app is currently, the communities that your app is currently serving?
So this started in San Jose, California, and covers San Francisco, Oakland, Sonoma County, up into Santa Rosa, and all of Sacramento, and the East Bay. You're looking at caregivers that I have in Contra Costa area, in Modesto, and also Manteca.
Oh, wow.
So just covering the major cities in Northern California is where I recruit caregivers from and interview them and have them on the database. And if they are available, their pictures or their profiles will show up on the list depending on what time you want them.
I mean, that's even more remarkable to me because of some of the traffic in those areas you're talking about. The idea of having someone that close is just really surprising and incredible to me. As your app continues to grow, as you're searching out other markets, what type of people would be perfect for you to partner with?
I'm looking at people that work in the same industry, other professionals or other business people that have either another app or they have a device or anything that's technology and looking to partner with home care agencies and filling the gap if they were to go through me and pay a referral fee, or because it is increasingly going to become difficult to find caregivers the way home care agencies are doing right now. You want to find caregivers who can text you back or who have put their available schedule on the app like mine did, because I don't have to chase them. They've already set out their schedules, and those are the schedules that they stick to. Because I didn't make up that schedule. I didn't say you have to be available 10 to 2 every day or be available on the weekends for me or be available 24 hours. That was the last implementation or the last upgrade that I did this last year, was to add the 24 hours to the app.
You mean that someone who is a home health caregiver could actually put themselves as available for an entire 24-hour period?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
As I said, that's a godsend.
Yeah, it gives the caregiver the, I guess, autonomy is part of this too. It gives them the flexibility to either place themselves available for work or take themselves off. There's a little button there. There's a little, you can take them. I want to work today. No, I don't want to work today.
Well, it definitely sounds like a win-win. And so are there any other things you're going to be adding to your services in the long run?
Yes. I realized that care management is an important aspect of this, as a side to this or as a different entity altogether. Families still need that one-on-one, or they still need that help where I need to come in and sit down and either give them a direction or do the assessment and say, this is where we're going with this. And I think that is the biggest package that I'm going to go with in the next few months, and offer this to families, because the caregiver does the job on their own. But what happens after home care? Mm-hmm. What happens with the skilled nursing side of this, or the assisted living, if we were to go that route? Mm-hmm. Or what happens, at the end of life? And I've always worked in this arena and am familiar with the services. And what better way than to offer these services on my own as a care manager and train other people who are familiar with this to partner with.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds like it would be so helpful to the people that are in the heat of battle and not knowing even what's next or the choices available.
Yes. And I think we're always, and like I said, people always leave, the majority of people leave this till, I've really got to do this now.
The very last second.
Yeah. Well, and also it's a very complicated area. There are people that maybe they're in finance, they know finance inside and out. If you know that inside and out, or you're an expert in something else, when you come up for healthcare and it's unexpected, there are so many things you need to know that it can be overwhelming. It's like having to get an entire education. That's where having someone like you, someone like this app, someone with the vision, someone with the knowledge of what the entire process looks like is invaluable, because when you get hit with something like this, oftentimes you're just swimming in deep water very quickly. You just find yourself thrown in the deep end of the pool.
I think a lot of times that people are in total denial and don't even want to think about it. But because of my background in training, I was very proactive and found out what I needed to know.
Yeah.
Very few people are that way. There's few proactive families out there that will go out and set out all their legal stuff together and have the next steps, ready. But the majority will leave it until we leave the hospital. And that's where a lot of people come in with the professionals and the case managers. And walking into situations is what is next for us. And this is where I feel I come in and say, if you need someone right now, let's go with this person and have this person help you at home. Then we can go into the next part, which is my services, which is to be able to help you navigate. I look at it as a chaos. Not only is it deep, but it is a chaotic world of caregiving for someone, especially towards the end of life.
Well, Anna, I think there should be a book in your future because people need to know all that you know to help them maneuver all of these twists and turns that life throws at us.
And I think it's just as important to have a book out there. And for the time being, I'll come in and give it to you personally. All the knowledge that I have, especially in the communities in the Northern California region for now.
Have you seen the numbers of who's going to be having dementia and Alzheimer's over the next decade?
Yes.
You don't have that kind of time, girl.
Yes, that is true. And that is why I keep thinking, I have to get this out there. This is what the future is going to be like.
Yes.
And what better time than to introduce this?
I want to kind of go back again to kind of like the embryonic stages of this particular project for you. You said this was a part of an assignment. This actually became a part of your master's thesis and like research paper for your master's degree was a part of this idea. When you first started with this, did this, as exciting and an amazing service as it is, did you feel overwhelmed with the idea of actually being able to do to create this and to make it happen?
Yes, because you're not only talking about the mental part of this. You're talking about the financial burden of having to develop an app and create a business entity, which is very difficult if you are not a business person. And I had to step outside to get the help. There has to be, I'm an expert at what I do. I help families, but I knew that there were other people to help me with the business. And that is where I'm entrenched in right now, is to have other people mentor me to get through the steps of marketing, building my database, finding that visibility and the traction in order to move this business forward.
Wow.
And that's where your book's going to come in handy. You get a bestseller going on, and they're all going to be calling you. You're going to have to hire a whole team. You have to be careful what you wish for.
That's too funny.
Yes. So what do you think, if you had it to do over again while we're talking about your startup, what would you do differently in what you accomplished to get this ball rolling?
Financial wise, I would have had to have found a mentor who would have really advised me well with taking all the funding that I initially put into the app and still do support it. And having to, I guess, use the resources that were available to me with my own funding resources too. And understanding the finances of this, not only as a woman, but as a businesswoman. What is it that I'm going to look at? And finding that exit strategy if I were to, looking down the road.
Mm-hmm.
This is what will happen in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year.
Well, besides employees, I think those are the big three things that most business people struggle with, is the financing and the big picture of even getting a line of credit before you start, before you need it.
Yes.
And then the marketing piece, everybody struggles with that, even the marketing people.
Very much so.
Exactly. And the third one is also what you had mentioned about getting the proper mentoring and coaching that you need to be able to maneuver all the things that you have to when you're busy building out your dream.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to talk more about that in the next segment of the Imagine More Success radio show.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide. They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world, interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Memorable dynamic presentations are a not-so-secret weapon in the business world. Do you have a powerful message that must be shared, but you haven't found a way to deliver that message? Do you want to be known as a top public speaker who gets amazing results? Are you ready to create and deliver your powerful message? Thomas Hides can help you create and deliver your speech to get the results you desire. Visit iconquality.com.
Did you expect your business to flourish, but instead it plateaued or didn't get off the ground yet? Would you like to achieve massive goals and discover new sources of income within your business? When you're ready to experience that type of success with fast results, Cindy Hendricks is the business coach for you. Her work with entrepreneurs and business owners has been life-changing. To get you and your business where you want to be, go to imaginemoresuccess.com.
Has the fear of public speaking stalled your business or personal life? What would you give to develop and maintain supreme confidence? Have an invaluable private program to always perform at your best. Imagine how you would feel. You can have all that and so much more today with Thomas Hides' life-changing course called Number One Fear Unleashed. Visit numberonefear.com and be liberated from your fear of public speaking.
Welcome back to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're so glad that you could stick with us today. We've had a very informative show, and something I think is very important, especially for populations as they age. No matter what your age, you're probably going to be affected by having loved ones who are close to you or someone that you know get to the point where they're going to need some home health care. They need help inside the home. And we've been talking with Anna Jones, who is the founder of Flex65. That's PHLEX65.com. Do check that out. In and around the San Francisco Bay Area, giving you affordable health care in the home, sometimes within 30 minutes, which is incredible and almost mind-boggling. She has Anna actually has a quote by Margaret Mead: "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." Such a timely statement, especially when it comes to this type of healthcare, when it comes to dealing with people aging. It's going to take a lot of citizens that are to make a difference. And I think Anna's doing not a small part, but a very large part to bring healthcare that's very, very necessary into really the modern day. Have you thought at all about the next place you want to take your app, the next place you want to move into?
Yes, thank you. I do think a lot about that. This app does not have boundaries because it has a geolocator. There's a Google Maps attached to this.
Mm-hmm.
I can find help, and place my own. Say, for instance, I needed help in LA, and I just need to move the pin to say that I need help in LA, and all I need to do is find caregivers in that area if I'm traveling.
Cool.
So there is no boundary to this because of the way the app was built. Finding caregivers in your area attached to a Google map and as a geolocator, that is a big thing, especially in technology. And having to use that to find the help is immense. And I think one of the forward steps I've taken to building this.
Well, and it's also fantastic for families who go on vacation when their loved one can't go on a walking tour, and what are they going to do with their loved one? So having someone that can come in and help in the vacation location while the family goes off on their walking tour.
That would be, hopefully, these are all the gaps or all
Exactly.
the problems I get to solve for the family, because the whole premise for this was I will be there to help you wherever you are, and hopefully moving into different states and into different markets, to promote this is the next big step for this.
I think also, as you were saying earlier, I think that's when people have ideas about doing things. I encountered this in previous businesses that I worked in as well. If you don't start with the finance portion of the business, it can slow down very quickly. You have to get some sort of financial backing in place, really OPM, other people's money. You have to get, you have to begin with that. But you're at the point now where you have proof of concept, where this is working. This is something that can be financed by traditional sources, or you could use some creative financing as well. But I think this is a very valuable lesson that you talked about. And is your current mentor actually doing that now, sir, having you search out financing so you can begin to scale the business as well?
Initially, I did start with that. So OPM was my main mantra at the beginning. I said, let me use other people's money and, go from there. And because the app took a while to get on board, and the engineers were efficient. They're efficient and they were professional, but there was a life that happened, and I needed to take a step back. That is why the delay with the visibility and traction right now, because there was a point in, I think, last year, the year before, that I did take a break for personal reasons. And then having to build on the finances that you have, and to keep that is important for any business. And especially the third year to the fifth year, having to stay in business for that long is also an important step for, should be for any business owner out there.
And that is one of the big roadblocks of building a business, is that as fast as our technology is today, it isn't fast to build.
Exactly. Or you're dealing with the apps and the bugs with
Mm-hmm.
the,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there's all these upgrades When Apple has to upgrade, we upgrade. When Stripe has to upgrade, well, we have to upgrade. So,
Exactly.
and so you run into this because all the other people that house the app need to upgrade.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and eventually it gets
Absolutely.
to be something that's so helpful to so many, and it's worth the wait if you have the patience to get through all that.
Yes.
Yes. And then, one of the other points I wanted to make here was this is where a business plan is so helpful. And so many times people get so excited about their business, they don't take the time and diligence to get it mapped out. And sometimes it really gives you the path. Well, it always gives you the path.
Always, yeah.
Yes.
But sometimes you don't know that until you're on the path and you're like, oh.
Yes. And it took not one mentor, it took 4 mentors to be able to get through to me. And still do have 4 mentors, that I actually am following and trying to stay on this path to survive,
Yes.
as a business.
Yes.
And being able to, they've been through the fire, so why, go through the fire yourself, but learn from them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for those listeners following this show today, what many may not realize is that an app today could be anywhere from a few thousand to 6+ figures to create.
Yes. Depending upon the level of sophistication, it can get pretty pricey pretty quick.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then there are the bugs to be worked out, which takes time and money, and the unexpected, which takes time and money. So I applaud you for creating something so fabulous that's working today, that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, and it works.
Yes. At the end of the day, I just need to know that it works.
Yes, and it's fulfilling your mission of helping people.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yes.
So what else do our listeners need to know about your venture to create this fabulous thing, or how they need to be able to know what you're doing that can help them?
I think my whole goal for this was to be able to go out into the communities. And this is not just for the ones that are able to afford this. At some point, with either a Kickstarter fund or something, or a grant, go into the communities that really need the services. You're having caregivers who are adult children who are juggling their own professional lives and caring for someone. And I have always championed the underserved or the low income. Most of my professional life has rotated around, nonprofits, and that's the group that I serve. And this is a for-profit, organization or business that I'm in, because I know that in order to branch off and to help the underserved, I need to make money myself.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. This is going to require, especially to be able to move it into the places it needs to go, it's going to need funding for sure.
Yes.
And this is really exciting. Like I said, this is, one of these things that just really jumps out at me as just being so necessary, so helpful, and solves a gigantic problem that maybe isn't on the forefront of people's minds. But when you have the problem, it's the only problem that's on your mind.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And, that was the whole purpose for the app. I'm here, or we are here, to be able to have caregivers. Everyone, either you or I, we all come into caregiving roles. Either we care for someone, going to care for someone, or have someone that we know that cares for someone else.
Or caregiving for us.
Yeah, eventually becomes us. And, you had a really amazing free gift available for our listeners today as well, where they have a chance to consult with you on care management for older adults. You said that the listeners can reach out to you by email. Our email address is ajones@flex65.com. That's AJONES at PHLEX65.com. And it's been a real pleasure having you on today. Thank you for sharing with us, and not just sharing your expertise, but also sharing your very giving heart and putting forth this tremendous effort in this very worthwhile venture. We really appreciate having you here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. And thank you, Thomas, for having me. It is an honor to be on this show.
Well, I can't imagine that people aren't walking away with so much value from what you have created and from what you're going to be giving those who do connect with you.
Thank you.
Again, check out the Flex 65 app at phlex65.com. Be sure to send an email to Anna Jones if you'd like to connect with her in managing the care of someone that's a loved one of yours. And if you want to hear some of the past episodes of the Imagine More Success radio show, do go to imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can find those previous episodes with some really interesting and successful business owners and entrepreneurs. And we here at Imagine More Success just want to remind you to always realize your dreams and to imagine more success.